Welcome to Meeple, uniting players around the world. A 30-minute exploration of PJ and Gareth's board game experiences from across both sides of the Atlantic. Each episode they share their thoughts and opinions on the world of board games, including their favourite themes, games, hot topics, and much, much more.
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 94. Today we're going to talk about board games on vacation. And why are we going to do that? Because Gareth is back.
I'm back. I've got a watch tan. Look at that watch tan. Only PJ can see that, but
right. But guys, he got a lot of sun because I could tell that he was wearing a watch.
A watch, which was a foolish mistake. But after I kind of realised that, it was too late. So yes, two weeks off.
Boy, it feels longer, doesn't it?
I think. Well, it's 3 weeks.
So, in your absence, we've had Hannah and Alex on the show.
I hear good things.
We had Danielle Reynolds and Kristen Mott filled in for you. That was an interesting conversation.
That game's still not out. It's not available still. Still waiting for it.
So we've had a lot of people on the show. But it's been 2 weeks because the Gen Con recap, you were with us for that.
And I think we recorded that, you see, slightly earlier.
We did
because we were flying around. So
that's right.
But yes, I'm back. I completely switched off of work for 2 weeks. Yep. I didn't have any contact with anyone. I sat on a sunbed, and I think my earliest beer was 10:30 in the morning. Decided that 10:30 was okay.
That's great.
And I had ice creams, and yeah, I didn't. Well, we planned to do nothing apart from just chill. So we had 10 days in Greece. I think the average temperature was about 34. The hottest it felt like was 51, which I'm honest, that day it was rather uncomfortable. But the rest of the time, there was a nice breeze, played games, hung out with the family, holiday stuff.
And so you're on vacation, and I'm like hustling to promote the podcast and Gen Con, made a bunch of contacts, sending out emails, lining up interviews. In fact, it's like I felt really bad because I was like sending you emails. I'm like, okay, the next 10 episodes. It's like we have a schedule. We actually have a schedule for like the next 5 episodes.
Too busy to even read this right now. I haven't even had my diary open, so I was like, I can't even see what's in. I turned all of my diaries off. I was not being brought into the world. But yeah, games on vacation. Yeah. I mean, so because we have two adult children, well, practically adult children, everyone had a suitcase. But when it came to packing, the kids generally didn't need much. So in Kira's suitcase was half empty. And I went, well, half empty space, we may as well fill it with board games. So I think we took about 20. At one point, I even thought about taking a full size, as in a full size box game,
right?
Not just small travel game, but the largest game we took, which we didn't end up playing, was Targi, which is a kind of probably a 10 by 10, 8 by 10 box,
something like that.
So we took about 20 games. Everything from those tin games that we've talked about before, through to some of the Oink classics. I will go through some of the ones we played. They were all generally small box. We had some of those. I don't know if you've seen, but people condense their travel games down into those plastic photo boxes.
We do the same thing. We do the same thing.
Worth checking out. So just, Google it. You'll find it. Board game travel case. On Amazon, you can buy like a box that holds, I'm going to say, 16 or so plastic photo boxes, which are perfect for compacting down a board game. And there's even a website that's got all of the covers for the board games to print in. So we took a few of those with us, not the whole box. But
so let me ask you a question before you get into like your actual vacation. So you're packing. You're going to be gone for 2 weeks. So you when you decide to pack games, like what are your priorities? What are you going through your mind? Like, are you know what I mean? Like, why do you choose one game over another? Because you're on vacation. Why are you playing games, right? I mean, that's what Some
Evenings.
people would ask.
Well,
Evenings.
evenings was when we play games. And then, of course, it's me, it's Carrie, so who I guess are the gamers. So I think I thought through what happens if the kids don't want to play games.
Right.
And Dylan doesn't play games, really.
Right.
I mean,
and that's why I asked.
So that's why Tigey came in the box, because I was like, what's a small game that's really good two-player, that's not a massive table hog and is small packed.
Right.
So I think we thought through, we've got 2, 3 or 4 players. But then I was like, what happens if we make some friends? Board game friends. So I was like, we better take a couple of games that maybe play to 8. Like,
wow.
Never know, do you?
No, you don't.
So then it was like, okay, we better take a couple for a larger group, just in case we find some board game friends, which we didn't. Then I will, yes, I'm going to write something down to remind myself to come back to a point about an observation I made.
Okay.
And then I asked everybody what games they wanted to play. So Kira went through and said some games that she obviously likes to take with her. And then I thought, what happens if nobody wants to play games? And I'm just me, and I'm just chilling out. So then I thought I better take some solo games. So you can see something when the thought of a suitcase that's half empty.
Yep.
And we're talking a large suitcase, not like it's one to check in.
I know.
So yeah, we had a mixture of solo games, 2-player, 3-player, 4-player, but mostly around the probably 4-player mark was what I aimed for, because I thought it is in the evenings. The kids probably, because they're older now, they probably aren't just going to make random friends and go off. So they probably will be more likely to hang out with us. Whereas when we travelled and the kids were small, they'd be, we'd have dinner and the kids would be playing with other kids of that age.
Okay.
And me and Carrie would just play games.
So
yeah.
So when Katie and I travel for like a work conference or, gaming convention, even when we go to Gen Con, right? It's like we usually just bring one game because we know we're going to meet gamers. We're going to buy games. We're going to get free games. We're going to play games with our friends. So we don't bring a lot of them. But when we're traveling, vacation, work conferences, we usually bring 1 to 2 2-player games, something that can fit in our pocket. And then inevitably what happens, we never play anything at all. The only game we've ever had any success with traveling is Love Letter.
Yeah.
We'll play Love Letter, the two of us, at a bar, at the table. The other thing too is we've got all our games on our phones. Ticket to Ride, Terraforming Mars, stuff like that. So that's why I was interested. I was like, he's traveling with his family, and then you started posting pictures of games you were playing, and I think you commented to me in a message that Dylan only plays games on vacation, and I'm like, well, that's awesome.
And so we had. Obviously, not that we're competitive, but Dylan and Kira, I think Kira won the most games, then Dylan, then me, then Carrie.
Oh.
So, and Dylan really enjoyed, particularly Trio. Have you played Trio?
Have not.
So that was played 23 times on holiday.
Wow. Okay.
So that was the most played game, which is I think it's 2 to 6 player, I think. Where you got a set of cards, split out, and then some cards go in the middle, depending on how many players there are. And you need to basically find sets of 3. But you can only ever say what's your highest or lowest card in someone's hand. And then it's a memory game of, okay, I saw 3. Right, did Peach have a 3? Have you got a 3? Yeah, okay, found the next 3. If I can find all 3 3s. So it became really competitive. And that was played probably nearly every night when we were playing games. I think because it's such an easy game, I think Dylan always comes into the games room and there's some, table hog with many pieces. But this was, I taught the rules I pretty much taught the rules to you then.
Right.
It's quick to play and the round lasts maybe 5 minutes max, 10 minutes. So you win, and it's go again and go again and go again. So, Trio. So Nick from Board Game Review recommended that to me at their house a while ago. And that does travel to work. So that's another one that it's a small box. It's only, I'm going to say, Well, it's got a box of cards, so it's like
Right.
maybe 4 by 4 inches. So that was played by all of us. Did have a couple of 3-player games when Dylan wasn't with us, but generally trio. And then the next most played game was Azul.
Really?
Azul Travel.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Which it just does pack down really nice. So we played that usually once in the evening towards the back end of the holiday. But again, that's probably a box I wouldn't. Back to your point around you can take 1 or 2 games. If we were just going away normally and we didn't have so much luggage space, that would probably not have got in the box, or might be the only thing we would take down with us.
Did you bring the canvas bag for Azul Travel, or did you just bring it in the box?
We bought it in the normal box, in its cardboard box.
Okay.
We did when we sat there. Carrie goes, "Oh yeah, maybe we should just put it in its canvas bag." But we had ample space.
Okay.
So yeah, that got thrown in. We did obviously when we went from our apartment down to dinner on the complex.
Yeah.
Because carrying games is like, I don't really want to carry games around.
Right.
So I was like, what have we got? Damn, I haven't brought a game bag with me. I haven't brought, we didn't even have any carrier bags. Like that. So I was like, what have you got? And Dylan's got like a over the shoulder
messenger bag, or
half of that, like kind of the ones that they have slung over their shoulders. And
sure.
So I was like, right, okay, Dylan, I need your bag. No, you don't need my bag. So anyway, that bag became the board game bag. So apart from Azul, actually you get 3 or 4 games in there. Yeah. So there's another top tip traveling. Obviously, if you're going to dinner or you're not going to come back to your room, which it was only like probably a 5-minute walk, but I didn't really want to go back to the room to get stuff. So so every night the character games around in that, and that allowed us to pack in like a copy of Trio, some of the little tin games. I think actually Trio we even took out of the box and just left inside the bag because it's just a pack of cards and they're all sleeved. So particularly with drinks flowing and cocktails and sticky tables. One of the games that has been on every holiday has been Mintworks, which I think I've talked about before on the show, which is one of those tin games.
Mintworks.
So it's if you really want a small tin. I mean, again, it's a mint tin box size,
right,
worker placement game that plays really well at 2 or 3 or 4. Check out Mintworks. I assume it's still available. It was a Kickstarter years ago, but that game got a play, and everyone enjoyed that. Obviously, Love Letter came out. What else do we play? Sunny Day Sardines.
Yeah, I don't know that one, but I saw you post about that.
Yeah, so that back in the early Instagram days, there was an account called Board Game Renegade, and they're not so busy on Instagram now. Sometimes, but they went off and produced a game on. I'm going to say like 2 or 3, maybe just after lockdown. I'm going to get the account details. And anyway, it's a game about catching sardines in a tin.
Interesting.
So it's got a set of cards. You put the cards on the table, and it's basically set collection. But it's a really nice intro to mechanic of set collection. So that's been on a few trips with us. So that's a nice little one.
So earlier in the conversation, you had mentioned that you had an observation that you made.
Yeah. Uno. I mean, so observation was everyone plays games on holiday. So I know I've noticed that. I've seen that before. But this holiday, if I was sat out after dinner, every table I looked at was playing a game. But it was always Uno.
Always Uno. Okay.
It will be 80% Uno, and then there'd be people playing cards, and there'd be variations of Uno, and then we did see a group of people playing Wits and Wagers.
Okay.
which was the closest I think we saw. No, we saw a couple of people playing some. Is it Cat Cafe? It's a roll and write. Cat Cafe.
Oh,
Do you remember it? A couple of years ago.
okay. Sort of.
Is it Cat?
I don't,
I'm trying to remember who it's by. I think it's Cat.
Okay.
We saw some people. But yeah, I was like, man, if you could create one game, find a way to kill Uno, or not kill Uno, but take some of that market share.
What about what are your thoughts on multiple questions? What are your thoughts on? Do you have a copy? Did you bring it with you? Is Scout?
So we took Scout with us.
You did,
yeah, and we played that. That was our third most played game.
Okay.
And that's probably one I thought Dylan would possibly not enjoy because it is a bit more, you got cards, anyway, he loved it as well. So what was good is that we all had time with the family,
right?
And everyone played games.
So you're sitting out on this balcony or this patio or wherever this is where people are playing Uno and whatnot. Did any strangers see you playing games and come up and ask you a couple of questions? What are you playing? Did you make any new friends?
No. Which I thought. So I'd say the complex was 40% English, 40% German, and then 20% mix of probably Spanish and French.
Okay.
But I thought because it was heavily German English, I thought that's maybe why there was more people playing things like Wits and Wages and some more, more popular games, just because of how strong board gaming is in Germany. But yeah, I thought in the UK, people would come up and ask questions.
Right.
But I don't know whether it's a language thing or people were doing their own business.
That's fair.
So we didn't have to. So we did take, what's the horse racing? Roll and write. Dice. Oh my, honestly.
There's a couple of roll and write horse racing games.
Anyway, that's the one I took. It plays up to 8.
Okay.
But we didn't need it.
Didn't need it.
Had Skull King. So Skull King we played a couple of times. That was the one that was like, that's relatively easy.
Yeah.
Trick taking game. I think it plays up to 6, or does it play 8? I can't remember now. But that was in the box. But yeah, no, I thought we people did look over and see that we were playing, not Uno.
Right.
But people just love Uno and love Uno. And we'll play it for hours now. As Lester DeCarro's like, man, if I could just find, the domination in that market must be at 90, 95, 98%. Every shop I went to, there's a copy of Uno. That is a big brand. I guess people have tried to, break in, Exploding Kittens, anything where there's cards. But
it's true.
It was. I hadn't realized how many variants of Uno there are.
Every IP that you can think of.
Yeah.
I know. We have Star Trek Uno.
Yeah.
It's the only Uno that we have, and it's only because it's Star Trek. But yeah, no, I hear you.
So everyone, I guess, in evenings in hotels, I guess what you do. So you play games. So it was lovely to see so many people enjoying playing games, but everyone plays Uno. So maybe I need to stand up and teach some lessons on, come and play these different games. Or we need to set up a stand. It's an idea in hotels with a selection of games on it.
I feel like Trio and Scout kind of. People who only know Uno or gravitate towards Uno, Scout and Trio would be games that they would naturally.
I think Trio is the one that I thought that's the one where people did look over because it's just a hand of cards and it's done, it's quick.
Yep.
We played Slide. Do you know the new?
Did you play Slide? I can't find Slide.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
because it's Hachette as well. So
I know. So,
Seesaw on Paper was the other one.
Oh, that's a good game.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. We take that with us every time because it's so small and compact.
Yeah.
But then we never play.
So I mean, the other game was out of the Wallet series, Tusi Musi, which is we played 2-player. Me and Carrie played it when the kids went off somewhere. So I think, I think what didn't we play? So I didn't play any solo games. That's a win. Okay. So there's no need to. I took some Wallet games. We didn't play Targi, which is probably the biggest box. And then there was a couple of roll and writes we didn't play. Again, that maybe it's just too much admin. It did get really windy over about 4 days of the holiday in the evenings. And so we actually didn't play as much because we wanted to sit outside because it's so warm.
Right. And you were on an island in the Aegean. You weren't on the Greek mainland.
Yeah, in Kos.
Yeah. So naturally there was a breeze off the sea.
Yeah, I mean, but only for like 4 days. It was always still, but for 4 days we then went inside and played inside because we wanted to play some card games. But yeah, you can take your board game collection with you pretty much. Just take kids who don't need many clothes. Well, what do you need? Shorts, t-shirt, flip-flops.
I guess. Yeah.
That's it. Pair of trainers.
I guess so. Yeah. Was there a laundry facility where you were staying? I
did have to.
Okay.
Again, I mean, I just took enough t-shirts. We're only there for 10 days, so
because that's some really warm temperatures.
Yeah. I mean, I spent most of the day though in the pool in the sea. So
yeah.
But we were very much in the daytime. Did wander into local town.
Yeah.
To see whether I could find any, you never know what you find. So I might sniff out a board game or two, but
it's true.
No, I just found packets of Uno. And chess, of course. Chess made out of, sets of chess that you find in all shops. So yeah, no game shop. I did find there was a game shop in Kos, but it was in Kos town, and we didn't do any excursions. We were having a chill out time, so we didn't end up there.
Because you didn't leave the island, did you?
No. Well, we went out on boats, but didn't leave. We didn't go to anywhere else. This holiday was supposed to be no stress, literally just get up, chill out. Because if you have excursions, you've got to get somewhere. You've got coaches everywhere. So we're just we're just going to go and chill. So most days, what was really nice was there was no sunbed wars. You know what I mean by sunbed wars? People get up early. Sunbed wars.
Sunbed wars. I'm not familiar with that term.
So, some holiday destinations, obviously there's X amount of sunbeds around the pool. So people get up at 5:30 or even earlier to go and claim their sunbed.
Okay.
And it's one of the things that really puts me off holidays is I don't want to have to get up at 5:30.
Right.
To then not have anywhere. I have to get up at 5:30 to have somewhere to sit. Because if I get up at normal time and rock up at 8:30, 9 o'clock, oh, look, nowhere to sit. This is really fun, isn't it? So it's those things. I was like, oh, please don't be sunbed wars. So first day, so we didn't arrive till 1 o'clock in the morning. So we went to bed, got up about 7, 8 o'clock, wandered down and went, look at all this space. This is how life should be. So even at 10 o'clock, the sunbeds were available.
I agree.
That is how life. So there was no stress at all. It's like literally get up, put the towels down, have some food, chill out, have a beer.
Yeah. 10 a.m. Yep.
Play 10:30. 10 a.m. is a little bit early, but 10:30 is okay.
10:30.
That was only on one day when I was feeling particularly thirsty because it was quite warm. I was like, let's have a beer. It's fine. So yeah, and then just play games. So
how about local beers? Were there any local?
So we were drinking Mythos.
Okay.
The Greek beer, which is very, very nice. I will get some.
I was wondering if there was a local brew on the island of Kos.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. There might have been. They're the only things really available unless you were buying bottles, but that became branded.
Right.
Budweiser and San Miguel, those kind of things.
So you were so relaxed. Because I try to not bother you much. You're on your vacation, right? And but I'd like to check in, see how things were going. And you were so relaxed, you didn't want to come home
Oh yeah, I'd worked out my
Yeah.
retirement plan.
You did. Yeah. You were going to open up a board game cafe.
Yeah.
And then you were going to hire me so I could quit my job and move
And
over
then we
there
were just
with
going to
you.
hang out. And, yeah.
Yeah,
So I
we
was,
just
I was
like
looking. So we went to in the town bit. We went there twice over the 10 days, and then we just went to like a tavern, you know, a bar.
Yeah.
And it was owned by an English lady who'd been out there for, I think her kids are grown up now, so I think maybe 10, 15 years. And I was like, you know, but it is the season's like from early May right through to sort of end of September. So it's 6 months on, but when it's on, you're up at 5, 6, and you're going to bed probably at midnight.
Right.
So you are working, and then you've got 6 months of, you know, nicer weather, as in not so hot weather,
right?
But you know, very little business. I think the planes actually stop arriving, as in the tourist planes. And then I spoke to another, like a really nice olive wood souvenir shop, and that was owned by an English lady who'd been there 14 years. And again, I thought, yeah, it's a pretty nice life. You know, she said, you know, it gets busy, but weather's lovely. It's lovely when everyone goes away, and it's got 6 months of it being cooler with a bit of rain. And I was like, well, maybe. But does Cos need a board game cafe? Somewhere does.
Yes.
I'm trying to work out a board game cafe or just a bar that happens to have board games. But would people want to play in the heat? Probably not. But maybe locals. I don't know.
Locals.
By the way, I decided that I quite liked the temperature.
Sure. I mean, who doesn't?
The only danger was fire. So there was a fire on the island about 3 weeks before we got there. And then we went out for an hour or two with a local like speedboat who just took us out as a family. And I was chatting to him, and he showed me photographs of just behind the hotel was all on fire only 6 weeks ago. So we talked about how devastating that has been and how quickly it spreads. And then actually, when I went back to the hotel and looked, actually what I thought was just mountain, actually you could see the char marks from.
Sure.
But it without realizing there'd been fire there, it just looked like it was scrub. So that was, So they do get fires. Obviously, it is so hot now.
It's a real thing. I mean,
and obviously, our friend George from Boundary Games, he's Greek, so they were out there.
That's right. Oh,
not in Cos. They were on the mainland, or I think the mainland. But they commented how hot it was, like how much climate change, or you know, it's so much hotter now than when he grew up.
Right.
So it was. I guess that's one of the problems is the fire side of things. But it was a lovely time, and we've got 10 episodes lined up, haven't you? I think you've worked. Is it 10 or is it 8? Gets us past 100 though.
This is episode 94. I've got us for the next 5 episodes, and then we'll do something big.
It's got us to 100.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So that's kind of the plan there. So unfortunately, I'm sitting here while you're talking, and I'm trying to find a game to do my voiceover, but I didn't prepare one. But I would like to tell our listeners, our guests, Hannah and Alex, were in fact correct. Last week's episode of the voiceover was in fact Deadly Dowagers. So that is the game that I read from, and I don't have one in arm's reach.
I was trying to find one from.
I would love to.
Boardgame
if I would have, I was actually thinking about from the games you played on vacation, which would have been really cool. But I also like the mystery of trying to stump Gareth. So that's a thing.
I'm trying to find one out of my list, and there's none that they're so obvious.
Yeah, they are.
They're obvious.
Well, it's interesting that Alex got it right away, only because she had recently did a review. That was an interesting conversation where we talked about the review circle in the UK.
Yeah.
I was really interested in that.
There's a really nice post from Jamie Stegmar in his blog about that group. I think it's about 50 plus of them now. I'm not part of the circle because I haven't got the time to commit to it, but quite a few of the Southampton board game group are in it. It works really well because you can just choose what you want and you pass it on, you play it. And it gives publishers that ability to know they've got a circle of up to, let's say, 50 people, where you haven't got the cost of shipping. You know, you're shipping it once and then it flows. And Tora organises, board game foe, favourite foe.
Yep.
Organises that. So if you are in the UK, do reach out. You find Tora on Instagram or her website.
Okay.
Or go read Jamie's interview.
Oh yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's worth
so
reading.
I've got a voiceover real quick, and we'll see if you can guess it. So here we go. The beautiful pieces of glass that can be found along the river here have attracted the most entrepreneurial woodland creatures to set up shop. In this game, you play as one of these pioneers, drafting glass from the market of river tiles. To do so, you have to play a piece from your inventory into the river. Each river tile can take only a specific shape, and you must play into a space adjacent to where you want to draft. After you pick up your glass, the river shifts forward, revealing new pieces and new opportunities. Store the glass you pick up strategically in your shop. Depending on how the glass are placed, your score will change drastically. Fill in rows and columns for more points and come to victory. Any idea?
I think I know what that is because you showed me the box about an hour ago.
I did.
I was like, this is only the game that I had to go back and look at my feed thinking, I'm sure this is a game that you only showed me a picture of.
I did.
So let's see whether our listeners can guess
what
game
it
that is.
So here's what I'm going to say to our listeners, because I have never gotten a message with someone giving us their guess, either on Instagram, my page, or the Meeple to Meeple page. If you wait to binge these episodes, you're just going to get the answer.
What you're going to get is people who binge it, but they binge it like in about 3 months' time. You're going to get a random game title going, what's this person on about? What? Makes no sense. Again, they've just listened to episode 94.
Yeah, so there you go. So those are Board Games on Vacation. Gareth, I'm glad you're back.
It's good to be back. Back to work tomorrow. Boom.
Yep. Our bank holiday is next Monday.
Oh, is it?
For Labor Day.
Okay.
Because I know you've got a bank holiday this week.
That's today,
which is convenient.
And, and like you need to go to work, don't you? Because like this is really early for you for a Monday.
Yes. So we've done things a little bit differently today in recording. It is 6:30 in the morning. I've been up since 5 a.m. It's lunchtime there in the UK. That's just kind of how it worked out. So
usually I take the hit and do the late show. So you've got the early doors. So you go and enjoy work.
Oh yeah.
I hope Iris has enjoyed our a discussion on games on holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't got Uno, then you're missing out. Uno. Right, mate. Have a good one. Thanks everyone for listening.
Thanks everyone for listening. Please subscribe, and as always, we love to hear your thoughts and ideas. So make sure to leave those in the comments. And don't forget, you can also chat with us both on Instagram at Meeple to Meeple.